CNN senior data reporter Harry Enton is with us. So where does the race stand among African-American voters right now?
Yeah, I keep looking for this to change, to go back to a historical norm, and it simply put has not yet. So this is the margin, or Biden and Trump among black voters, compare where we were at this point in 2020, compare where we are now. You know, at this point, look at this. In 2020, Joe Biden was getting 86% of the African-American vote. Look at where it is now. It's 70%. That's a 16-point drop, John. And more than that, it's not just that Joe Biden is losing ground, it's that Donald Trump is gaining ground. You go from 7%, single digits at this point in 2020, to now 21%. And again, John, I keep looking for signs that this is going to go back to normal, and I don't see it yet in the polling. If anything, right now we're careening towards a historic performance for a Republican presidential candidate, the likes of which we have not seen in 6 decades.
CNN is sounding the alarm. They're absolutely panicked over the fact that Donald Trump, that convicted felon J6 insurrectionist, is poised to win more of the black vote than any Republican in more than 60 years. It's absolutely incredible, and all the more delightful seeing this panic coming from the likes of CNN. We're going to take a look at the latest polls and see precisely why so many non-white voters are going Trump in 2024. You are not going to want to miss this. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you stay sane in these insane times. So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Also, did you see this headline in Forbes from last week? The Fed quietly admits gold is replacing the dollar. And this is because more and more nations around the world are starting to turn away from the dollar as the world's reserve currency. And so it's no surprise that central banks around the world are ditching the dollar and gobbling up gold like never before. That's why the price of gold is expected to continue to climb, because when all is said and done, more and more nations are turning back to the timeless value of gold and silver. So that's why we have, as one of our wonderful friends and sponsors, the amazing company Goldco, because they're patriots just like us who want to help you and guide you into how to get into precious metals completely tax-free and penalty-free. They're amazing, gang. In fact, if you click on that link below right now, you can get your very own absolutely free gold and silver kit. It's an amazing free resource that shows you step-by-step how to get into precious metals, even if your money's still in a retirement account like an IRA or a 401k. And again, just to show you how awesome the patriots at Goldco are, the best part is that you may actually already qualify to get up to $10,000 in free silver. I told you they're the best, so what are you waiting for? Get in on the action by clicking on that link below, or go to turleytalkslikesgold.com and get your free gold and silver kit. Gang, this is a life changer.
Dig into this number here. What is the makeup of that number?
This is where we get very interesting. So I decided to dive deeper into the crosstabs, figure out where is it that Joe Biden is truly struggling among black voters. All right, so this is black voters, Biden versus Trump margin. Look at black voters age 50 and older, and you'll see, look, Joe Biden was leading amongst this group at this point by 83 points back in 2020. Now it's 74 points. So yeah, a slight decline in that margin, but nothing out of this world. Look at black voters under the age of 50. Holy cow, folks. Holy cow. Look at this. Joe Biden was up by 80 points among this group back at this point in 2020. Look at where that margin has careened down towards. It's now just, get this, 37 points. That lead has dropped by more than half, Mr. Berman. I just never seen anything like this. I'm like speechless, because you always look at history and you go, okay, this is a historic moment. If this polling is anywhere near correct, we are looking at a historic moment right now where black voters under the age of 50, which have historically been such a big part of the Democratic coalition, are leaving it in droves.
I've never seen anything like this. You heard it, right? A historic moment, or my favorite, as you heard at the very, very beginning. We haven't seen anything like this in 6 decades. That's the alarm that CNN is sounding as of this weekend. When all is said and done, Biden is losing the black vote. Biden is losing what was the single most reliable, faithful voting constituency for the Democrat Party. It's absolutely astonishing. As you saw, black voters under 50 are overwhelmingly moving over to Trump. It really does appear to be a paradigm shift happening among younger black voters, those under 50, who see the lawfare against Trump as comparable to the weaponized legalism they believe is so often aimed at them. A paradigm shift that Trump himself has recognized and appears to be fully embracing. Again, we have to remember, we've talked about this often, but it looks like we really are seeing this happen in real time. It's not just this channel. Rich Barris of the People's Pundit has noticed this. Robert Barnes, Viva Fry, a number of analysts have recognized the exact same thing. That mugshot officially made Trump gangsta, right? For millions of particularly non-white voters, he became in an instant one of them. Voters who have consistently voted Democrat are now voting Trump almost solely based on the fact that that image made him one of them. And you don't have to think too hard as to why. So if you asked non-white voters, how many New York billionaires do you know? Or how many former presidents do you know, right? What's the answer going to be? Well, most likely 0, right? But if you ask them, how many people do you know who've had mugshots taken of them and have been treated unfairly by a weaponized legal system? Well, that's different, isn't it? They may know several people who got arrested and for not a very good reason. In other words, that mugshot transferred Trump from one cultural space, the New York billionaire former president, to another cultural space, someone legally persecuted by an unfair and unjust system. And that transference has endeared Trump to voters that otherwise would probably not have given him the time of day. And that surge in support among black voters for Trump is crushing Biden, particularly in otherwise reliably blue states like Virginia. Have you seen this? We now have several polls all showing the exact same thing. Trump and Biden are now tied in Virginia. We're getting poll after poll showing it. Trump and Biden are tied in a state that Biden won by 10 points. And it's largely because Biden is losing black voters in droves. And if you thought it was just Virginia, gang, take a look at this shocker. According to the latest McLaughlin poll, Trump is now beating Biden in Minnesota. Trump's up by 2 in the sole lonely state that voted for Walter Mondale in 1984. Trump is now leading him by 2 in the bluest of all the blue states. And it's obviously not just black voters. Take a look at this from the Des Moines Register, which is a very, very reputable pollster. Look at this. In Iowa, which, keep in mind, was one of the bluest of blue states in the nation. They actually voted for Mike Dukakis back in 88. In Iowa, Trump now has a near 20-point lead over Biden. In a four-way race with RFK, among others in the mix, Trump leads Biden by an astonishing 18 points. It's incredible. And again, it's coming from what is historically a very reliable pollster, the Des Moines Register. They have Trump absolutely running away with it in Iowa. Again, once a solid blue state. It was solid blue because it tended to vote for the old school Democrat, right? The populist farmer Democrat. Obviously, those days are over when Trump is in the picture. And as Red Eagle Politics is noting, if Trump is up 18 in Iowa, you can be sure he's going to take Wisconsin as well. And that's the election. That's it, gang. That's the election. Trump is already poised to handily win Arizona and Georgia. If he wins Wisconsin, it's over. He passes the 270 mark. But can you imagine Wisconsin, followed by Minnesota and Virginia, all going Trump? Well, that's a very real possibility as of today. And it's largely because of this new rural white and urban non-white voting coalition that Trump's forming. Again, we have to remember, Trump has never been stronger than he is right now. He's never been in this strong of a position, either in 2016 or 2020. He's absolutely crushing it. And as you can see, the legacy media is starting to visibly panic over this. Trump is indeed poised to return, and to CNN's horror, it looks like we'll have a whole new era of non-white voters to thank. Here's your opportunity to tell big tech tyrants where they can stick it. Click on that link below and download our brand new cancel-proof Turley Talks app, and you can sign our special declaration of restoration. That's our petition to big tech that declares a new day is dawned. They are no longer in control, and we are taking our nation back. We've already got over 1,000 signatures of courageous patriots, and yours is next. Click on that link below or go to fight.turleytalks.com right now.